everyone, and welcome to another super cool radio interview. I'm your host, as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have a great guest who I'm very excited to have on the podcast. On October 18th, Swim the Current released their latest single entitled Stay. Please welcome the lead vocalist for Swim the Current, Marcos Leal.
How's it going, Matt? How's it doing, man?
I'm doing great. It is fantastic to have you on the show. I know we have quite a bit to discuss with Swim the Current. You've been very busy with them lately.
Yes, I have, man. I'm very excited to bring this new chapter of my musical career out, man, and I'm very excited to be on the show with you today, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I got a lot to discuss because the new single, Stay, it's definitely a departure from the previous Swim the Current catalog. So I'm curious. So how did that change come about?
So when I started with Swim the Current, it started off as they had hit me up to do a feature on one of their songs. I think at that point they were having a bunch of different vocalists sing and stuff like that. And we did a song called We're Not the Same, and it was pretty metal. It was definitely something that we were all kind of used to. But at that point, I was right in the middle of Ill Niño. I also had plans to, return to my original band, Shattered Sun. So I kind of had my fix in metal, you know what I mean? But anybody that knows me knows that I'm a big country music fan, and I've kind of always had this idea to kind of fuse the styles, you know what I mean, with the hard rock and the country. So I asked the guys, I said, I really don't have any intention of starting a new metal band or coming up in a new metal band, but I would love to do this, and I would love to do this style. And if you guys are down, I would love to make some music in this direction. And sure enough, they were all about it, man. We did a cover of Cole Wetzel's Solo, and that was kind of the moment that we all kind of looked around and was like, yeah, this is the path we need to go down. I very much enjoy the change for Swim the Current. I think you guys did a really great job with Stay. So I'm curious, obviously you talked about the process of what led to Stay, but I'm curious, were you or any of the bandmates kind of were they excited? Did you have any reservations about changing your guys' style with this song? I mean, I was excited because the band was still kind of in its infancy, you know what I mean? I don't want to speak for them, but, they were still kind of trying to find their way. And then I was also kind of looking for an outlet outside of what I was doing, which was Latin metal with Ill Niño. And, I kind of wanted to do something else. And I think we both just met at a time where we were willing to try some stuff. You know what I mean? And we wrote some music, and it started out as just that, man, just an idea. And with that idea, we were able to sign a record deal and, put the finishing touches on 12 more songs. And it's just crazy how it turned from, in such a quick amount of time, it turned from, well, let's just try and write some country rock songs in this style to, now it's full on out there. Stay is charting. We have a record coming out next year, and we plan on doing a lot of touring with not only country acts, but, hard rock acts as well. And man, we're just, we're excited. It's kind of crazy turn of events how it happened.
Oh, no, for sure. But I with Stay, as you're talking about with possible touring, you guys do have that, obviously it's country influence in there, but you also kept the rock side in there as well. Which I really like, because you blended both those very well. Because I know there's some artists that either go one either country or full on metal or rock, and you guys have a very nice blend of those styles
throughout the record, throughout the songwriting process. We leaned to both sides, some a little bit more country, some a little bit more heavy. There's some songs that are I would consider just straight up metal. You know what I mean on the record too. So and I think that's what the label likes, and I see, that's what the fans are kind of picking up on as well, is people that necessarily wouldn't listen to country are kind of oh man, I like this. It's, it's kind of more my style. And then the people that listen to country that would never touch metal feel like it's edgy, and you know what I mean. They're listening to something that's really rock oriented. So it's cool to see, draw people from kind of all those walks of life into one circle.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And so, like, I'm curious for you because obviously, like, as you mentioned, you guys are charting on rock radio. But like, was the reception for Stay, did this surprise you at all, or this was expected? Like, how was it for you guys?
Man, I'm not gonna bullshit you, bro. For like the weekly, because when we were writing this music, I knew it was special. But for fans to see it coming from me, who, you know, the majority of my career I've been a metal vocalist. You know what I mean? So, I don't think that many people outside of my circle really know that I love country music or sing country music. You know what I mean? On the side, and so I was really worried what people were going to perceive us to be. You know what I mean? I certainly didn't want it to come out and look like, oh, we were trying to jump into, a more radio friendly or a more, you know what I mean? I guess in lesser terms, like a cash grab or something like that. No, this music has always been in my heart. It's just putting it together with a group of guys that actually wanted to chase that dream as well. I'm overwhelmed and humbled by the response because it's been fucking incredible. And I've said this a few times in a few interviews that I've done, to leave something that was a for sure thing in El Nino to go on something that is more of a a dream, more of a, man, we hope it comes off the ground. For it to have this kind of response has been amazing.
It definitely has, and like again, I'm very happy for you guys. I know there's been instances of some bands where they kind of change their style to be more true to them, and sometimes people don't necessarily accept it or like it. But with you guys, people have definitely like embraced it, as you said. Like the reception's been great. You guys been obviously touring charting on rock radio as well. So like I'm really happy to see that kind of warm fan reception for you guys.
Same, man. I mean, I was very, very nervous, like, especially the night before. I was like, fuck, man, what am I fucking doing? Am I doing this right? Like, did I fuck up? You know what I mean? But to see the response has been so humbling, man. People from all over the world, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Have reached out, and people that you would never think would listen to that style of music or seem to be very on board with it. So I'm very happy with it.
Oh, for sure. And like I'll be honest, I'm kind of in that same category because like I don't listen to a whole lot of country. Like I listen to some of the classics, like I love Johnny Cash and things like that. But like I wouldn't say country is like my go-to music. But like listening to you guys, like just, and again, that kind of, you guys have that rock element in there with the country. Like even for me, like I very much enjoy it.
Yeah, and the flip side of it too is, the country rock crowd is a different type of crowd. I've been going to a lot of country rock shows over the past couple of years, and it's completely different than metal. So to have those people who would never even touch like a 3 Days Grace song, you know what I mean? A song that you would hear on active rock radio, like that's too heavy for them. For them to be like, man, I could really get down with this, and this is really, I really love it. It's incredible, man, from both sides. You know what I mean? Seeing it.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the country music side too, which definitely, I think they're a little bit more reserved with their kind of style of music they like. But again, you guys are kind of definitely bridging the gap between like metalheads and country musicians. I think that is really cool.
Yeah, it's honestly, I didn't think it was gonna happen like that, but to see it play out this way is pretty fucking shocking if I'm being honest.
No, I bet, and again, like I'm happy for you guys that like things so far have been going very smoothly with that. People really liked what you guys are doing because, as I mentioned before, it's you guys definitely took a risk with Stay.
Yeah, it was calculated. Like I said, we had wrote some of these songs, 6 months prior, and in the spot that I was there was quite a few people around me that was, oh man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. This is too different. And I guess it kind of goes that way in life where I could have very easily been like, oh man, they're right. I should just keep this in my fucking files on my phone and pull it out here and there. But man, there was such a belief, not only, in myself, but the guys that, man, these songs are really good when we would show them to like the people around us, our wives and I feel like people like that are sometimes, a little biased because they're obviously your loved ones. But I'm a firm believer of like the naked ear or like the fresh ear is the most honest ear. You could see it in their face and the way they reacted that this was something special. So we just trusted our gut and rolled with it. Again, thank God everything's working out.
Oh, for sure, but definitely to have that different perspective on music, because like yeah, like your words, you can like make it sound you can lie to somebody, but like your facial expressions and like their eyes, like you can tell if someone likes something or not, even if they don't say anything.
Oh yeah, dude. I always my wife or my brother or they're always the first one. My friend Daniel, they're always the first ones because even if it is shit or like they don't like it, you know what I mean? They'll be like, okay, man, I can get into it. But you'll see the opposite when it's something that really hits and they're like, yo, this is incredible. You know what I mean? So you have to trust that and trust your gut. And man, from the very, very earliest demos, everybody was like, yo, this is something that we need to follow. It can't just be let's put out Stay and try it out. And, if it goes great, cool. And if not, like we had to go in, like, we wrote another 12 songs that are in this genre. And we're really excited for people to hear it.
Oh, I'm too. I'm definitely very excited to check out more new music from you guys. So like, I do kind of want to, talk about that. So what can people expect from like these 12 songs? Like, are you at liberty to discuss any details?
Yeah. I didn't want to, like we talked about already, like we have that balance between metal, between rock, between country. So it's like riding around in that triangle, you know what I mean? Like lean a little bit more to the heavy, lean a little bit more to the country. Like there's some songs on here that I firmly believe people are going to be like, whoa, that's Marcus singing, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit. But then there's also other stuff that's like, hey, fuck yeah! Now that's more of what I'm accustomed to. So I think it would be disingenuous of us to just jump in and be like, "Hey, we're a country band now." Yep, that's straight up what we're doing. We're just doing country music. We had to bring this metal edge with us, and each of the guys has like such a special quality about them. Whether it's in the people that they've worked with, some of the music that they created, and even having like little bits of country, talent in them that, our guitar player, Joe, he's from New York, he's Italian, but he plays a lap steel guitar. You know what I mean? It kind of like, how the fuck, you know what I mean? Do you get that? But it almost seems like it was like a godsend, like things were supposed to happen with these guys all together.
Oh, I think so. Like again, with the talent in this band as well, with everything, I think it's it's just so cool to see like the kind of different side of each band members.
Speaking from kind of where I was before this, like I had to operate in this box, you know what I mean, and I had to do that for about 5 years, and I'm not dogging it, it really great music that came out of it, but to stretch your arms and legs out of that box and sing in a different style and kind of not have somebody over you to be like, nope, that we don't do that, we don't do this. Like even something as simple as the draw in my voice or the accent in my voice to really own and accept that it's fucking liberating, man, because it's just from going from a certain style to kind of laying it all out and being who you are. There's something so freeing and liberating about that. It's like as a musician, I mean.
Oh, I bet for sure. You can express truly how you're feeling about things, and like you can include different elements that you couldn't previously as well.
Yeah, and also like not going after like a target audience or like not. And I'm not just saying this about the band I was previously in. I feel like it's like this with every band. Oh, we have to make this a single. We have to make this this song has to be for radio and it has to be for this. Like to rid yourself of that and just write a record that, of course I know there's radio singles on this record, and of course we kind of did things in that light, but to just at the end of the day be like, man, you know what? Fuck it, man. We're just gonna write a great song, and however it comes out, it comes out. And there's something so fucking pure about that when you get a response like this to stay, you're like, man, I need to trust my gut a little more. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. So like, I'm curious for you, like, do you approach like Swim the Current differently than like previous bands you were part of?
Yeah, have to. And it didn't hit me until we started writing, because man, it's easy to sing George Strait songs and Cole Wetzel songs and Johnny Cash songs when you've had a few beers and you're in the back of the bus or you're at a barbecue or whatever, and everybody's like, "Damn, you sound good." But it's another thing to write it and actually like perform it. And when we got in to write these songs with a producer named Sahaj, he plays in a band called Raw. Incredible fucking musician, incredible writer. He was kind of the first one to be like, hey, well, you're not coming from a metal place. You know what I mean? You can't jump in here and say, move this motherfucking circle pit now. Like, this is a whole different angle and a whole different approach. And you have to approach it that way, not only in your performance, but also in your writing. You know what I mean? So taking all those things into consideration have been a challenge, but man, I fucking love the challenge, man, and I think we're doing some pretty great things.
Oh, for sure. Sahaj, I've had the opportunity to interview him. He is like, he has such a mind for music. It's incredible. Just like, even just to, chat with him, I can imagine working with him to produce a song as well. He is, I don't know, like, really how to describe him. He's just so, like, he just understands music so well.
Oh yeah. He understood me within 10 minutes of meeting me, man. Like he knew I had this vision to do this. And even him, but he was a little skeptical as well, and being like, I mean, you sang metal music your entire career, and now you're with a bunch of dudes from New York trying to play country music. You know what I mean? Skeptical right there. But once we got together and put the pieces in place and really wrote the song, especially this one, Stay, that was kind of when we were all like, okay, there's a path to go down here. And if you do it the right way, it could be really successful. And I got to credit him, and I got to credit George, our bass player, because I just kind of saw a road there. They're the ones that went and fucking bulldozed that motherfucker down. And you know what I mean? We really, really built it. I just kind of said it was going to be there.
Well, no, it's definitely been a very team effort, very concentrated effort for Swim the Current. And again, you guys definitely starting to see that as you guys release Stay, and obviously you got some more great plans in the works as well. I did also want to talk about, because I know you kind of mentioned the live performance side a little bit, and possible touring. So like, is there any kind of plans for that, for like tours or anything right now that you can discuss?
Yeah, I can't discuss with who, but I will say I took a couple months off from the last band I was in to kind of clear my head and write music. I'd been on the road for a long time, and I took some time off, spent some family time, but once we put this record together, we were like, okay, not only can we play with country acts, but we can also play with metal and rock acts too. You know what I mean? So that's kind of really opened up booking agent to all kinds of things, and some of the tours that we have lined up for next year. It's incredible, because it's just, you can go play with somebody that is traditional, like classic style country, and then you can go play with somebody like Black Label Society, or like, you know what I mean, one of these bands like Giovanni and the Hired Guns, where it's, you can play both sides of the fence. And we've set up a lot of cool things like that in 2025. We are really going to have some road dog mentality with this band. We're going to go out there and really earn it.
Well, I'm very excited to see, the upcoming, tours and shows for you guys, because as we talked about earlier, like, you guys, you could be at a metal show, you could be at a country show, a rock show, not so much boundaries, like, in between, like, what shows you can play and what shows you can't play.
Yeah. And that's something that, even being in a Latin metal band, you know what I mean? There's, certain areas you can play, certain areas you can't, certain where it's with this, I feel like it's universally accepted. And man, I'm excited to bring like the metal elements, that something that I've learned, being in the metal community for a long time, just performance elements, bringing that into a more kind of laid back country environment where they're like, well, this band just strolled down on stage and, now they're already 2 songs deep. And, like bringing the metal element where it's like the lights black out, the intro rolls, then you come out and you hit them with, a banger right off of the bat. You know what I mean? And bringing those things with me, I think are going to make the difference in this performance.
Oh, I bet for sure. Now, I just want to throw this out there because I think it'd be cool to see you guys and Gideon on a tour. Would be awesome.
Yes, you know what? He did a track with a band that I absolutely love. They're called Lakeview, and he did a track with them called "Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is." And man, those dudes are so incredible, man. I got nothing but love for those guys. I know they're out on the road right now with Autry and I believe Disturbed, Breaking Benjamin, and such an incredible act. But man, maybe we can get something worked out like that. I will say this: there are some pretty cool metal guest vocalists that are going to be coming out on this record that I think people are going to be like, "What the fuck is he doing on a song like this?" And I'm very, very excited for people to hear that.
Oh, I'm definitely very much looking forward to it. I want to be surprised by like what you guys, bring with this album.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Once we kind of put the whole big picture together, it was easy to reach out to some of our friends, and I think some of these guys were refreshed with maybe some of the songs that we had put together, and to have them bring their element into it just took it to a whole nother level. But very reminiscent of Lakeview and Gideon, you know what I mean? That song, features like that, and bringing that metal element back into what we're doing here. So can't wait for you to hear it, man.
Oh, for sure. I'm very, very excited to see what Swim the Current comes up for 2025. But that does lead me, as we're starting to wrap up this interview. So, like, I know we kind of already talked about, like, the album and the shows and stuff, but, like, what's, like, early 2025 looking like for Swim the Current?
Man, we definitely want this record out early. It's in the mix and master stage already, which is pretty fucking shocking to me, just because we wrote this music so quickly. It was so natural, you know what I mean? And being a part of projects where, it'll take a year or 2 years, you know what I mean? Or fucking, in some cases, 4 or 5 fucking years. This music came together so quickly between us and Sahaj and Chris Sadafine, Chris Reyes, our production team. We want it out early. We want it out, I would say, maybe about February, and we want to hit the road in March, and that's what we're working towards right now. And all the fun things come next, man. Naming the record and making the album art, and those are the things that I love so much. And being able to do this again, it makes me feel like I'm just starting out in the industry again. It makes me really happy.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that like, you kind of have like, kind of a fresh, a new chapter for you guys, and you're excited to, to make music and tour again like that. It's awesome to hear. And again, I'm very much looking forward to what Swim the Current comes up with, because it sounds like you guys are just like starting a new chapter for you guys.
Absolutely. It's not just myself. It's it's the guys too. I feel like we've all ridden the roller coaster in this industry. So to kind of be stepping off of one roller coaster and onto another, man, there's a feeling there of when we first started, and I'm excited for them, and I'm excited for the fans to hear it, dude. It's truly special.
Oh, for sure. Well, I encourage everyone, please check out and support Swim the Current. So, Marcus, where are the best places for everyone watching and listening to find Swim the Current online?
Right now, we're working on our new website, which will be out probably before Christmas time. Getting everything geared up for the next year. But for right now, you can find us across all social platforms, across all streaming platforms. Go check out our new video, Stay, on YouTube. If you don't do YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it, Google it, and you'll find us. I promise you that.
Oh, for sure. I'll make it even easier. I'll leave some links for Swim the Current in the description of this podcast. Please check out and support them. Check out the brand new single Stay along with the music video. But Marcus, thank you so much for stopping by Super Cool Radio. I had a blast chatting with you.
Thank you, man. You too. Hey, man, anytime you want to come out to the show, you let me know. We'll have some beers. We'll have a good time, brother.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope that happens in 2025.
Absolutely, man. We'll see you soon, man.
All right, so for Marcos Leal of Swim the Current, I'm your host always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.
Stay frosty.